About public pressure vis-a-vis sophistication in this country and how people will be able to differentiate between virtual and
most cases,
and our course.
Yes. In most cases, it actually really is very easy to tell whether it's virtual or real. Okay? Because a real thing involves a real child and a virtual thing involves something like a painting, a cartoon, a depiction. These are all virtual, right? I agree. There's a particular category where I've said it might be impossible to distinguish. So we're already talking about a very, very narrow category, okay? Because we're talking about adults who are, let's say, 18, who are represented as being 17 or 16, okay? Or we're talking about something which is digitally created. We're not quite there technologically yet to create something which looks exactly real, but let's say we were. I'll grant you that we are, okay? I can reread to you what I said on this, okay? Basically my position is something along the following, okay? That if virtual child pornography reaches this level, what's going to happen is that it's really a criminal offense to have sex with a child. Okay? So a pornographer is not going to risk going to jail by producing real child pornography. Virtual child pornography is indistinguishable, actually has the positive effect of reducing real child pornography. People are less inclined to put themselves in a position where they can have criminal sanctions placed against them for abusing real children. Okay? So what happens is I can find a specific case where I refer to this. Page 7. Okay, so few pornographers would risk prosecution by abusing real children if fictional computerized images would suffice. It seems that virtual child pornography would have the positive effect of reducing the amount of real child pornography being produced. It would in fact be saving children from suffering abuse. So when we don't, when we prohibit virtual child pornography, actually what we do is we allow for underground networks of real child pornographers to continue to abuse children. And this is unacceptable. We need to stop this kind of thing. If we allow an avenue for this kind of thing, we say, okay, look, we're going to allow virtual child pornography. I think it's disgusting. I don't want to see it. I'm really offended by it. But we're going to let the particular small group of people check it out. Okay? And when they do that, they don't have to abuse any real children. No real child gets harmed. A good thing happens here. There's less of a demand for real child pornography. We can actually cease the production of real child pornography if we allow for virtual child pornography. You had a third comment?
No. That's fine.
Is that okay?
And then I've asked you to allow other people to present so that we can engage with you for more time. Now, these guys must go to Johannesburg now. We're taking their time now.
What time is it now?
No.
That's our questions, Chair. That's our questions.
Supposed to have done that.
Are there any questions? Well, Chair, the two previous people that I was spoke for an hour and a half.
No, it's
How long have I been speaking for?
now you charge of now. Let's have a control of them.
46 minutes. Half the time.
It's very exciting, I know some of these things. But this comes back to us. But we don't have questions. We have questions. Let's take another question.
Chairperson, in fact, it's not a question. What is suggesting is what is happening on a cell phone. Is arguing that when you see a pornographic picture on the cell phone, it's not an offense according to his argument.
I'm glad you raised that. I just want to clarify something. Okay, virtual does not just mean it's on a computer. Okay, virtual means it doesn't involve real children. So if on a computer you have an actual photograph of a child, that's real child pornography. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. I think we should ban that. I think you should go to jail for that. I'm not at all saying that cell phone stuff with real child pornography is at all acceptable. Put those people in jail. I'm talking about virtual child pornography. I suggest you reread my distinction. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I think you have engaged with everybody. but you know,
Not at you.
now let's see how to look at
Just the last question for our further engagement. Your paper has been scientific so far. I'd just like to know what informs the perception that if we do allow visual pornography, there will actually be less, and not contrary, and not an encouragement in line with what the Film and Publication Board has actually seen. The more pen has become available, porn has actually become even more kinky. There's things that I never thought would get that kinky, but it's getting kinkier by the day. So it shows that people are actually pushing the limits.
Okay, let's address that question. I agree, pornography has gotten kinkier. In the dark days, we used to have stars on our nipples, okay? And we had an oppressive state that was very good at controlling pornography, okay? So porn has gotten kinkier. Now, are we concerned with porn getting kinky? I don't think we should be. We should be concerned with real children or real people being abused and raped. That's where our resources should be. And there is no correlation between that happening. The kinkier porn gets, it seems like the less bad things happen. And I've looked specifically at the examples of Denmark, Germany, and Japan. Okay? And I've shown that. If we look at apartheid South Africa, when we had these massive restrictions on pornography, when we had the stars and the nipples, we still had rape, we still had violence against women, and actually in worse senses. Are you asking something separate? Are you asking about desensitization?
I was asking, you are alleging in your paper that, okay, let me read it. However, if it really is the case that a certain class of visual, you're basically talking, it seems that visual child pornography would have the positive effect of reducing the amount of real child pornography being produced. It would in fact be saving children from suffering abuse. Well, all I'm asking is, all along you've been giving scientific evidence of what you were saying. And I feel in this case, perhaps you have done research, it's just not coming through here. I just need to clarify that.
Sure, it's coming from the judgment in the Ashcroft case, which is the American Supreme Court of Appeal judgment. Okay, and they've done empirical research on this. Okay, it's a logical point though. The point is simply that if real child pornography is going to result in criminal sanctions, real child pornographers are disincentivized from producing that material, and it would rather do something which doesn't incur criminal sanctions, which doesn't involve abusing real children. Logical point. But that hasn't been the case.
No, thank you very much. But as you leave, I'm going to ask you to interact with either the board or the office with a wonderful energy you have. Positive energy. Can we get the other presenters, please? Yes.
Yeah.